The beginning of the night. The night was so quiet, it felt as if the entire world had gently fallen asleep. Far away, a river whispered as it flowed slowly. Leaves moved with the softest breath of wind, barely making a sound, as if they, too, didn't want to disturb the silence. The air carried a cool, gentle touch, not fully cold, not completely warm, just the peaceful stillness that comes right before the change of a season. And then, with a calm, soft glow, the moon rose into the sky. But this moon was different. It looked less like a planet of rock and dust, and more like a forgotten memory that had returned to the night once again. Under this moonlight, our story begins. Chapter 2. The Traveler. A lone traveler was walking along an ancient stone path. His footsteps were slow and gentle. Tap, tap, almost too soft to be heard. He did not know where the road would take him. He only knew that it was leading him somewhere important. Somewhere old, somewhere quiet, somewhere hidden beyond the pages of known history. People did not know his name. Books did not record his past. But the wind whispered a name for him: the Keeper of Memories. He wandered through forgotten lands, collecting stories that time had left behind. Chapter 3. The City of Moonlit Mist. After many miles of silent walking, the traveler reached a wide valley bathed in soft moonlight. The air smelled of wet soil, ancient stone, and a faint sweetness of forgotten flowers. Ahead of him, a city appeared in the distance. A silent city. No fires, no lanterns, no voices. But it didn't feel abandoned. It felt asleep. People once called it the Dreaming Kingdom. No one knew when it was built. No one knew why it vanished. But the traveler understood one truth. The kingdom had not disappeared. It was only resting. And tonight, it would wake again. Chapter 4. The Wordless Gate. At the entrance stood two enormous stone pillars, forming the ancient gate of the city. Strange symbols were carved on the surface, symbols belonging to no known language, symbols older than recorded civilization. The traveler stepped close and placed his hand on the cold stone. The gate reacted, recognizing him as though it remembered his touch from another life. A faint glow slipped through the cracks. Then, without a sound, the gate slowly began to open. Not with force, not with creaking, but like a dream unfolding behind closed eyes. Chapter 5. The Kingdom's Breath. Inside the city, there was no lantern, no torch, yet the traveler could see everything. A gentle, pale light floated in the air, as if the city itself was quietly breathing. Stone houses stood untouched by time. Empty streets curved between them like the lines of a forgotten poem. There were no doors swinging, no animals walking, no voices in the dark. Yet the city felt alive. People once said this was the kingdom of the Moon King, a people who believed that the moonlight itself was their guardian. Chapter 6. The Tower of the Moon. At the center of the city stood a tall, graceful tower, the Moon Tower. Its stones were ancient, older than any empire. Its color had faded, but its presence remained strong and steady. The traveler touched the tower gently. A soft vibration moved beneath his palm. The tower seemed to whisper, "I am still here. I still hold the moonlight." Then, suddenly, a beam of soft silver light descended from the tower's peak, flowing over the streets, the walls, the rooftops, and even the smallest leaves. The entire kingdom began to shimmer, as if awakening from a long dream. Chapter 7. The People of Light. For a moment, the air warmed, dust lifted softly, and then figures began to appear, human shapes made entirely of moonlight. They walked through the streets silently and gently. They were not alive. They were memories, echoes of the last people who lived in the moonlit kingdom. One figure carried a basket. Another held a child. Another laughed without sound. Another walked with a slow, graceful step. They were peaceful, beautiful, and fragile. The traveler watched them with quiet awe. It felt like stepping into a dream that history had forgotten to tell. Chapter 8. The Elder of Light. When all the glowing figures faded away, one remained. An elderly woman made of moonlight, standing quietly near the tower. Her eyes shimmered like silver, full of ancient calmness. She spoke in a soft, soothing voice, a voice that felt like wind on warm stone. "You have awakened us," she said. "But this kingdom only rises for those who carry peace in their heart." The traveler bowed his head gently. She continued, "We were the children of the moon. We believed that light never dies. When a person is lost, their light simply takes a new shape." She reached out her hand and touched the traveler's chest softly. A warm glow entered him, small, gentle, silent. "This is our memory," she whispered. "It will protect you, and whoever listens to your story will feel the same peace." Chapter 9. The Kingdom Sleeps Again. Slowly, the moonlight dimmed, the tower's glow faded, the silent figures dissolved into tiny sparks of dust. The city returned to its deep, dreamlike sleep. The gate closed with no sound at all. The traveler began to walk away, calmly, quietly, carrying the new light inside his chest. It glowed softly, like a warm thought, like a faint memory, like a gentle dream resting in the heart. A light that brings calmness, a light that brings sleep, a light that now belongs to you too. Farther inside the hall lay rows of statues carved from moonstone. Some looked like warriors, others looked like scholars. Some looked like ordinary people, children, parents, travelers. Their expressions were peaceful, as if they were simply waiting to wake up. Elion felt a gentle tingling on his hand. He looked down and saw faint silver marks glowing on his skin, symbols he didn't recognize. The city was marking him, accepting him, or remembering him. One statue, a tall robed figure, held a small sapphire stone in its hands. The stone glowed brighter as Elion approached. He reached out, slowly, carefully, and touched it. A wave of warm calmness washed over him. He felt his heartbeat slow. He felt his breath deepen, his thoughts softened, drifting. It was as if the city itself was whispering a lullaby to him. And for a moment, he almost fell asleep standing. The Whispering City. Part 3. Continuation. A quiet, soothing exploration into the ancient sleeping city of Seriphus. Chapter 11. The Corridor of Soft Footsteps. Elion stepped out of the Hall of Timeless Dust and found himself in a long corridor. The air was warm here, almost like a soft blanket wrapped around him. The floor glowed faintly with pale lines, guiding him forward gently, like a lantern path in the night. The corridor echoed with footsteps, but not his. Each time he paused, the other footsteps paused too. Each time he breathed, he felt the air shift behind him. Not frightening, only familiar. It felt like walking beside a friend whose presence could calm storms. The silence around him thickened, not heavy, but peaceful, almost sleepy. His mind began to drift again, his thoughts floating like leaves down a quiet river. He whispered to himself, "Seriphus, what are you trying to show me?" The city did not answer in words. It answered in warmth. Chapter 12. Lanterns That Never Die. At the end of the corridor, Elion entered a circular courtyard. Dozens of lanterns floated above the ground, moving slowly, like stars drifting across the night sky. These were called ever-lanterns, relics of ancient Seriphus. They held tiny flames that never dimmed, never flickered, never died. Elion reached for one. The lantern lowered itself gently, as if bowing. He touched the flame. It didn't burn. It felt like warm breath, like a gentle heartbeat. When he closed his eyes, the lantern sang, not with voice, but with a warm, humming melody that wrapped around his tired thoughts. He exhaled. His shoulders relaxed. The tightness in his chest loosened. He could fall asleep right there beneath the glowing lights. But the city wanted him to keep going. One lantern floated ahead of him, lighting a new path. Slowly, he followed. Chapter 13. The Stairway of Forgotten Names. The path led to a stairway carved into a cliff wall. The steps were wide, smooth, and cool beneath his feet. Ancient inscriptions ran along the edges, names of people from long ago. Elion traced a few with his fingers. The letters glowed faintly at his touch. He didn't recognize any of the names, yet each one felt strangely familiar, like passing by faces in an old dream. As he climbed, the air grew quieter. His breathing matched the rhythm of his steps, slow, steady, calming. Halfway up, he stopped. He felt someone's presence beside him again, warm, gentle, patient. He spoke quietly, almost in a whisper. "If you are leading me somewhere, I trust you." The air warmed in response. No fear, only peace. Chapter 14. The Chamber of the Sleeping Crown. At the top of the stairs stood a large archway. Inside was a domed chamber, filled with soft blue light, as if someone were brushing away the dust of ages from his memory. He reached toward the crown, but before he could touch it, a gentle whisper filled the chamber. "Not yet, wanderer." The voice was warm, kind, almost protective. Elion lowered his hand. The city was guiding him, but it wasn't ready to reveal everything. Not now, not in this quiet moment. Instead, the crown glowed softly, casting gentle patterns of light across the walls, patterns that moved like waves, slow and hypnotic. Elion felt his eyelids grow heavier. His heartbeat slowed. This chamber felt like a lullaby. He sat down beside the pedestal, letting the calm energy hum around him. His mind drifted, peaceful, floating, dreamlike. Chapter 15. A Dream of Silver Rain. Elion drifted into sleep. A light, drifting sleep that felt more like floating than dreaming. In the dream, silver rain fell from the sky. Each drop dissolved before touching the ground, turning into small beams of gentle light. People of Seraphis walked beneath the silver rain with open hands, catching light in their palms. Children laughed softly. Elders hummed ancient melodies. Travelers shared stories under glowing umbrellas, woven from moon thread. The entire city shimmered. Elion walked among them, though they did not seem to see him. He heard one girl whisper, "The guardian will return when the silver rain falls again." Another voice answered, "And when he returns, the city will wake." The dream faded into soft white, and Elion opened his eyes. Chapter 16. A Gentle Awakening. He woke with a calm breath. The chamber was still quiet, the crown still glowed gently. He stood up, feeling lighter, as if the dream had washed away burdens he didn't know he carried. A new doorway had appeared on the opposite wall, smooth, glowing, inviting. The city was opening itself to him. He stepped forward. The hallway ahead was dim, warm, and peaceful, leading deeper into the heart of Seraphis. Elion whispered, "I'm ready." And so, guided by lights that floated like fireflies, he continued his journey into the sleeping city. The Whispering City. Final chapters. A slow, gentle ending to Elion's journey through the ancient sleeping city of Seraphis. Chapter 17. The Room of Quiet Heartbeats. Elion stepped into a long hallway. The walls pulsed with soft light. Not bright, not dark, just a steady, calming glow, as if the stones themselves breathed slowly. As he walked, he began to notice a faint sound. A rhythm. A heartbeat, not his own. It was the heartbeat of Seraphis. Each beat was slow, deep, and peaceful. Elion placed his hand on the wall. The pulse matched his touch. Warm, alive. The city whispered to him, "You are close." The warmth spread from his hand into his chest, and he exhaled softly, feeling connected to something ancient and gentle. He continued walking,